Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Guys, make sure to smash the like button on this video. Hit the subscribe button. Share the video as always, guys. Whole Diaz has made a statement that he said he's not surprised that Canelo Alvarez has taken the trilogy over the rematch. He goes that in boxing right now, it wouldn't be good if Canelo Alvarez was to lose again. And he basically said that Canelo Alvarez can't beat Dmitry Bivol. He even said at 168, Canelo Alvarez would get beat by Dmitry Bivol. He also said that I don't think if Canelo Alvarez was to beat Golovkin, and because there are talks about Canelo wanting to fight Bivol next, he said I don't even think Canelo would opt for that fight with Bivol again, because he goes stylistically, Bivol is all wrong for him. This is what Canelo Alvarez, apparently there are doubts about Canelo even committing. It says here, Canelo not committing to Bivol rematch after Golovkin trilogy. So let's see what is said here. As I say, I'm 100% focused on this fight because it's a dangerous one. But I'm 100% looking for the other fight with Bivol. My goal to the end of the fight before the 12th round, I did it better than him. We've been wanting to knock him out for the last two fights and haven't been able to do so, Canelo Alvarez's trainer. We're going to better prepare for this fight than we did for the first two fights. We hope to get the knockout. We will fight Golovkin as we did the first two fights. We're going to use defense, counterattack, and what we do. They know each other very well. I think for the first few rounds, they are going to be very, very complicated, said Reynoso. That's the price you pay when you're on top, fighting better opposition in the last 4 years than Golovkin has during that time. Everyone criticizes and talks smack when you're at the top. It comes with success. There are a lot of people like that. They don't have courage. When they have that person in front of them, they think about what they're going to say, opposed to when they talk about them online. Gigi has been talking smack about us, me and Canelo, to the media. But look here, he doesn't say anything. We hope Gigi does his talking in the ring so it can be a great fight. Canelo now has much more experience than he did in the first two fights. With Golovkin, a fighter is much mature and stronger. Canelo has fought better opposition and we're going to demonstrate it. It's good and right, Reynoso. So what did Reynoso say about it's good and right, Reynoso, when he told Golovkin's trainer Jonathan Banks admires the work of Canelo. A fighter that has done what Canelo has done deserves admiration and respect, says Reynoso. Not much. Canelo was a bit upset by now, but now he's calm. So Canelo was a bit upset, but now he's calm, says Reynoso. So there you go. So this article is a bit of a clickbait because it says here Canelo not committing to the Bivol rematch, but Canelo doesn't say anything of the sort in here. He actually says, as I am 100% focused on this fight, because it's a dangerous one, but I'm 100% looking for the other fight with Bivol. So these type of articles at times can be a bit misleading, or the title of it can be misleading, a bit of a clickbaity title, because Canelo has never stated that he's not looking for Bivol. In every interview that I've seen, Canelo Alvarez has said the same thing. I want to fight Dmitry Bivol. He even said, I wanted to fight Dmitry Bivol instead of Golovkin, but because of the contract that was in place, and I think DAZN obviously put a lot of pressure on him because the Golovkin fight's too big. And I think they wanted that fight to happen because they didn't want to lose the opportunity, because they knew how big and how many subscribers that could bring in. So I don't think DAZN wanted to lose that opportunity. That's what I think. And that's why I think Canelo's taking this fight. But I will say what Whole Diaz says, that Dmitry Bivol would beat Canelo at 168 or 175, and he feels Canelo won't take the rematch. Canelo will take the rematch. There's no doubt about it. Canelo's a competitor, and I don't agree with Joel Diaz. If Joel Diaz knows Canelo well, then he should know that Canelo Alvarez isn't going to shy away from a Dmitry Bivol fight, irrespective of stylistically, because Canelo Alvarez is hurt. There's another thing with Canelo picking and choosing a fight if he doesn't think he needs to go near that guy. But now that he's gone to this guy and he's been beat, Canelo's ego's been hurt. So he's going to want to avenge the loss, because he knows from a legacy point of view, if he doesn't, it's going to hurt his career and hurt his legacy. So Canelo's going to want to take that fight. There's no way Canelo's going to avoid Dmitry Bivol. So I totally disagree with Joel Diaz. I'm not so sure about the 168. Does Dmitry Bivol, Joel Diaz said Dmitry came into the ring at 162. I don't know how that made, or he was 162 or something like that. I don't know whether he meant 182. But he goes, he was lighter than Canelo was on the night, which is very surprising, bearing in mind the height difference and the size difference. If Canelo was weighing heavier than Bivol, that is frightening, you know. And actually says that Bivol could easily make 168. And he goes, stylistically, Canelo can't beat Bivol at 168 or 175. That might be true. I don't know. I've never seen Bivol fight at 168, so I can't say would he be drained. Is that his weight? I don't know. But stylistically, I do agree with him. Bivol is a very difficult fight for Canelo Alvarez. He may not be able to beat Dmitry Bivol regardless. And who knows, Dmitry Bivol might be even better at 168. We just don't know. If Benavidez can make 168, then Bivol probably can as well. Because they both have a similar type of build. Bivol's probably slightly muscular, but that's because he's fighting at 175. Benavidez actually, Bivol's not as tall as Benavidez, but they have a similar slim kind of build. Benavidez is actually 6'3", he's actually bigger, taller, sorry. But he is very skinny, Benavidez. Bivol is a lot more, he's got a bit more muscle mass on him, he's got a bit more mass on him. So, for me, Bivol probably could make 168. But I just think that Canelo Alvarez won't take that fight at 168. Because Canelo's got nothing to gain, he's got everything to lose. If Bivol comes down to 168 and beats him and becomes undisputed, that would destroy Canelo, because Canelo now wouldn't even be considered the best at 168. And then it would hurt his legacy so much. This way, if he fights at 175, at least, you know, he can say, well, I lost to a bigger man. If he loses again, 175 won't my division. But if he comes to your division and beats you, that's a no-go. So I think Canelo should avoid that from a business decision or anything. I think that would be a disastrous move, because I don't think Canelo has anything to gain. He beats Bivol, people will say Bivol was drained. He loses to him, people will say Canelo just been beat at his own division. He was a hype job. So Canelo should stay away from Bivol at 168. If he's going to fight Bivol, it needs to be at 175. But I totally disagree with Joel Diaz. Do I think Canelo can beat Dmitry Bivol? I wouldn't be picking Canelo to beat Dmitry Bivol. I do think there is a way. I do think he can, but I don't know. It's a bit like Joshua and Usyk. There's a way Joshua can beat Usyk. I just don't know whether Joshua can execute the game plan that he needs to with the attributes he has. And I don't know whether Canelo Alvarez, like for me, Anthony Joshua has to become a pressure fighter, become aggressive, throw a lot more punches. I just don't know whether Anthony Joshua has the chin, the stamina, the mindset in order to adopt that kind of strategy to beat Usyk. And I don't know whether Canelo has the ability to do what I think he needs to do, which is actually box from the center of the ring, look to outwork him, throw more combination punches, and look to outwork Bivol. I don't know whether Canelo can do that at this weight class. I think Canelo could probably do that at the lower weight class. At this weight class, with the muscle mass and the size, I don't know whether he can. I think Canelo Alvarez may have to come in light. Really light. And he might actually have to come in even lighter than 175, because Canelo's so small. Him putting on muscle mass like that is going to slow him down. So I don't know whether Canelo Alvarez is physically going to be able to do what he needs to do in order to beat Bivol, because he can't beat Bivol any other way. If he tries to become a pressure fighter, Bivol will just pick him off. He can't beat Bivol like that. Simple as that. I think we've seen what happens if he was to fight Bivol like that. If he fights Bivol the way he did, the way he did previously, it's not going to work. Bivol's too good. He's too rangy, he's too big, he's too long, and Canelo will just get outboxed all day long. Canelo's going to have to box with him from the center of the ring to stand any chance. If he can't do that, I can't see him winning. Just being totally honest, I can't see him winning. I think he's going to have to look to outwork Dmitry. Otherwise, he's going to take another loss. So can Canelo adopt that? I don't know. I don't know whether he's capable of doing that. I think only time will tell. But I totally disagree with Diaz. There's no way Canelo is afraid of fighting Dmitry Bivol. And not so much afraid. He's not afraid. What I mean is, he's basically saying, I don't think Canelo will take the fight because he knows stylistically he's all wrong. But stylistically, Canelo knew about Bivol before that as well. And he still took the fight. And even now, he's always said, when has Canelo ever said that he's not going to take the fight with Bivol? He's been open to it, and he's actually said, I'm going to fight him, I'm going to fight him, I'm going to fight him. So Canelo's always been open to the rematch for against Dmitry Bivol. Even his trainer has been open, like they want that rematch. So Canelo hasn't said or done anything to suggest that he's not going to take the rematch. Everything that's come out of his mouth tells you that he's going to take that rematch with Bivol. He will fight Bivol again. There's no way Canelo's going to avoid the Bivol fight. He just can't. From a legacy and an ego point of view, he can't. He just can't. He's a competitor. Someone's beat him. Someone's beat him. Canelo doesn't lose a lot. He's lost here. This is hurting big time. He's no way he's going to just walk away from that. No. Canelo wants to avenge his loss. And the funny thing is, in Canelo's mind, he thinks that he can beat Bivol. Like, we might not think. We may have him as an underdog. A lot of the Canelo fans, Mexican hardcore fans, feel Canelo will lose to Bivol. There's a lot of people out there that think that Bivol stylistically is horrible for Canelo. But I don't think it's out the question. I think we need to stop. Like, what we do is, like Anthony Joshua and Usyk. Usyk beat Anthony Joshua, which I always predicted. And now all of a sudden it's almost a fight where Anthony Joshua has no chance and he can't win at all. Canelo was a massive favorite where people were literally laughing at you if you had picked Bivol. Not laughing, but they thought Canelo was a massive favorite. Bivol beats him and he has no chance. Sometimes every fight is different. A fighter comes in with a different game plan and the fight's different. The first Golovkin fight was different to the second Golovkin fight. Yeah, because it depends on the fighter's mindset. It depends on the game plan that's adopted for that particular fight. So the point I'm trying to make is, don't write Canelo off. I think it would be crazy to. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope after the Golovkin trilogy we do get the Bivol fight. I think it'd be massive. I actually think this has opened up another chapter in Canelo's career, which was actually just going and beating the crap out of everyone. He's actually now at a point where now this loss has kind of opened up his career and opened up world boxing to the sense that this is a new chapter in Canelo's life, in his career, where we get to see how Canelo bounces back. When he was on top, he bounces back from defeat. Mayweather is saying he's going to bounce back from defeat. I don't know whether he can beat Dmitry Bivol in the rematch. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. I hope he can, but I'm not so sure. I'm not convinced. I think it's going to be very difficult for him to beat Dmitry Bivol. I think Bivol is stylistically a nightmare for him. But then again, it is Canelo Alvarez. You know, Canelo is a special fighter. And a lot of people probably thought when he lost to Floyd Mayweather that he's been exposed too early in his career. He ain't going to be a top fighter. He did. You know, he came back, he worked out his game, and he became, you know, he's had a Hall of Fame career, as Mayweather pointed out the other day. So I personally think that I wouldn't count Canelo out of the Bivol fight. I do think it might be a step too far in terms of weight, size and stuff. And the Bivol stylistically is horrible. And he knows how to use his size and height and reach advantage. I think it's going to be tough. And if Canelo does pull it off, I think it's an all-time great win. But it's a big ask. It's a big ask. But there's no way Canelo's not going to fight Bivol. Canelo's not going to shy away from this fight. If you think that, then you must be mad. Because Canelo, everything that he said prior, everything he said after the Bivol fight suggests, not once he said, I'm not fighting Bivol again. So these type of articles and people saying certain things is nonsense. Canelo will fight Bivol again. But that's my take on it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.